Hi everyone, Darren Hunter here. Before we get into our podcast, just want to do a quick shout out for Inspection Manager. What an amazing inspection app platform that they have. And they're really excited at the moment with their tenant assisted routine inspections, where your tenants, in the convenience of their own time frame and in the convenience of their rental property, they can be getting you through the app inspections, their own inspection or their own photos that they've done. Now, this is going to help you, particularly if you're in lockdown. But what we've also found as businesses have come out of lockdown, they've found that perhaps they can do maybe one or even two of these inspections a year, aside from scheduling their normal routine inspections. The next step, really go and have a demo, have a look for yourself and make a decision where this could actually work for you too. So go to inspectionmanager.com, request a demo and check it out.
Hi, it's Deniz, Yusuf, and I've got Michael Sanz here with me, and we are from IGT. And today on the BDM Coach Podcast Show, we're going to talk about 7 effective ways to list more properties with sales agents.
Yeah, and this is like near and dear to us, right? Because we see and we know so many agencies out there that have got sales teams linked to it.
Yep.
And we know a lot of BDMs and real estate property management companies that don't actually have a sales arm themselves, but that's okay. Like, this is still relevant to everybody.
Absolutely. You know, Michael, we've been going on a personal journey at dealing with sales agents over the last few months and property managers as well. So this podcast is going to have some really good value of live experience, current live experience of all of that.
So you're talking about our live secret shopping, where we've gone and had a look at open for inspections of sale properties and dealt with sales agents and rang sales agents and asked them a lot of questions. Are you talking about our own secret shopping?
I certainly am. And the property managers that we spoke with along the way as well. The whole idea is people need to be networking with salespeople more. There is so many leads out in the world. The BDMs have just got to pick up the phone and find them, right? And the whole idea about the BDM Coach Podcast Show is so we can make their job easier.
Yeah, you know what, I was just thinking then, one of the funny things the last couple of months, we've been calling up sales agents and asking about sale properties. No one has called us back and said, hey, I'm from the property management department, doing the investor support service at all. And more so when Deniz has actually been calling sales companies, real estate agencies, and dropping his actual name and his actual phone number, having actual inquiries, people aren't calling him back to help him.
I had one particular sales agent actually just say to me, look, can you just jump online and put an inquiry through and I'll give you a call tomorrow? And I said, but the home opens tomorrow. I want to know a little bit of information on it and I can't actually get there. Just put an inquiry online and then I'll be able to share the stuff, and I'll even send you the link. And he did admittedly send me the link. I didn't actually go through with the process because I just thought, you know what, I actually didn't want to deal with that particular person. Now, I'm not bagging out the particular sales agent, but it is my client experience wasn't good. So our job in property management and sales is we need to work with them as much as we can so we can bridge the gap, of course, but work on ways of having a better client experience. Because if that was a BDM that we're training, I know that would have never happened, Michael.
Yeah, and so I guess there's really no excuse when people say they haven't got enough leads, when they've got a sales team or they know some sales agents, because there are so many leads out there that have been neglected just by the way the sales agent is treating the client.
Yeah.
Right? Big statement there. But is it their fault when someone hasn't educated them?
No, not at all. And we're going to actually, some of the points that we cover today is how we're going to help sales agents work better with BDMs. That's also going to better the client experience for their purchasers and their sellers at the same time.
Yeah, correct. And again, too many leads left on the table. So we've got a couple of points we're going to go through. And what we will encourage you to do is catch up with your sales team, all right? Catch up with your sales referrers. So if you're a PM-only department company, catch up with your sales referrers. Catch up with those who are in front of the clients that you want and educate them on the best way that they should handle and engage with their clients for a smooth process and good referrals.
Yeah. Okay. So that segues us into point one. We've got to find sales agents. How do we find sales agents in the first place?
Yeah. Well, I guess, you either got one attached to your company, you do sales, or you need to go out and find them. So I guess easy ways, go online and search sales only real estate agents near me. All right. So very powerful.
Google it.
Google it.
Google it. If you're in a small country town or whatever the case, you could actually just walk the streets and go find out.
Yeah.
As well.
Another way too is just going on social media and finding out who the sales agents are. Now, it would be ignorant for us to assume that sales agents are only exclusively dealing with the property managers and the BDMs in their company.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them do not have a good working relationship. I mean, some do, and that's great. But there's a lot of companies out there that don't have a good working relationship.
Yeah.
So go and work those sales agencies, contact them, talk to them.
Yeah, look, Darren, I understand that you've already got a property management division, but I would still like to talk to you about, referring business to us as well. I'm a property management only business. I believe that your clients will still be benefited by us managing the property, and they are your clients. If your clients want to sell the property, you're still going to be selling that property. Try and at least get some form of an arrangement with them. Okay, Darren, I understand that you're already giving rental opinion letters to your clients from your own company. I think that's a biased opinion. At least you could give them a second opinion. If they do come across to IGT Realty, you'll still be able to have them as a client versus going to another company that you've got no business with as well. So it's giving them a second opinion, and it's still their clients, right?
Yeah, and I guess a lot of them, that's a big concern. They don't want to lose control of the client. But we can have a conversation about how you can compensate and go further on that at another time. It is a whole other session, compensation.
So there's not just sales agents, Michael, that work in real estate offices as well.
There's mortgage brokers, there's accountants, there's planners.
Yep.
And often, more often than not, where you find a real estate office, there's normally other strategic alliances
that are built with them. That's right.
Yeah.
So what about Hatonda Homes, Beechwood Homes? You've got all of those house and land packages. There's sales agents that sit in the garages that are selling a brand new build to people as well. They are sales agents that are dealing with people wanting to build a house and use it as an investment property. You've got to get out there and find those people. It's really important about those initial phone calls to them as well. Don't just pick up the phone and say, hey, I want you to refer business. You've got to obviously network with them, get them involved. What's the benefit for them wanting to deal with you? It's a similar call, I suppose, to how we would call a strategic alliance, right?
Yeah, just on the builders, like the volume builder homes.
Mm-hmm.
What I used to do is I would contact the small to medium builders, right? Those that are building a couple of projects a year. There's a lot more of them out there also. They typically don't have a rent roll.
Yeah.
Right? The bigger ones kind of have one hidden to it somewhere. The smaller guys don't typically have one. So if you can give them high-level service, I think you'll have great success. And you can go on the council and find out who's building properties and who the contacts are. I'm going off on a tangent at the moment, but throwing that in there, we just want to give you value, guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Some really good points there. It's easy to find the builders that you want to look at. When I was looking at building a property through a particular developer, I asked them how many. This is in 2013, 2014, and I actually did a video on it. You can probably find it on our YouTube channel. 1 in 4 people that were going through asking questions were potential investors.
Yeah.
So it's a few years ago, but it's still, even if it's 1 in 10, 1 in 10, if they've got 50 people going through, that's 5 potential good leads for you just there through a house and land package builder.
I guess too, though, I mean, the next point we're going to raise is attending home opens. And if you do have a sales company attached, it's easy. I mean, ask them if you can be the sign-on person.
Yep. Exactly right. So basically what you're saying, Michael, is you're meeting the investor at the property versus the sales agent referring the business to the BDM when the property has already sold. So you're actually getting in front of these investors, right? Which is great.
Yeah, I mean, like, that's where you want to be, right? I mean, I'd much rather be in front of the person than getting a referral from someone that I haven't met. At least you can ask the questions, is this for investment, or are you looking to move in? Where are you living at the moment? Are you looking to rent that property out? What's your situation?
So many questions you can ask them and you can build rapport. And what's great is, obviously, with the investor support service that we train on, it's about staying in contact with those potential investors as they're going through that home open. You're adding value to the sales agent. So Darren, if Darren's a sales agent for the property, Michael's a potential investor. I'm actually giving you property management advice, Michael, that's coming through a home open of Darren's property. So I'm speeding up the process of potentially selling the property for Darren and his clients, which is adding a better client experience for Darren's purchases, which is great.
Yeah. So, and it's also kind of capturing, because that person might be looking at 10, 20, 30 properties, and it might be an investor. You want the management no matter which company they purchase through.
So you're educating the sales agent in this process that this purchaser may buy off a rival agent down the road. They don't get that referral, but if they get the referral through you, the BDM, that is still networking, building rapport with all these potential investors across your whole area, you're creating a streamline of income for them. Yeah. Look, let's just quickly cover a couple of advantages of those. Why would those purchasers want to stay in contact with the BDM? Because your job is to help them on rental opinions. Rental opinions change all the time. You're physically at the property. You could give tips on how they could get a higher return. Locality is important. Salespeople do a great job selling the house. You could tell them average days on market in that particular area for rent, and any other safety tips that'll help speed up the leasing of the property. So it's great value you can give them, and it doesn't matter which property they're looking at with other agents, you'll give that service for free. So some really good added value that you can give for the sales agents leads that are walking through. You're meeting them there again. It's great.
Yeah, and so we've attended a number of home opens, where there's no BDM or property manager. Some of them have just had a letter of an appraisal just sitting on the table with the contracts and everything, and it's never touched on property management. It's never touched on, hey, there's an appraisal letter there.
Not at all. I mean, that's point number 3, is actually have information at home opens. Michael, you can't be at every single home open, right? We understand that you've got a life as well. You can't work every weekend, whatever the case, but you still got to have something at the property. Now, all of the properties we went to, Michael, I only saw it at one.
Yeah, and it was a tatty letter too. I mean, a good way to do it right now these days is to, if it's 1 Smith Street, have an appraisal for 1 Smith Street available, hidden online somewhere, or a document, and have a QR code attached to that. And if they want the appraisal letter, you have the appraisal there, and for your bank appraisal letter, QR code it. Up will come that you can probably get their details. One of the trigger points could be their email address will email you this letter, right? So then you're getting that contact to that person, also giving you permission to send them that communication. You're
catching the data, right? Yeah. The particular one we went to, they had that letter. You said it was tacky. It was actually laminated. So the clients, we as purchasers, we couldn't take it with us, right? And amazing point you said, when you're just giving a letter at a home open, you don't know who it's going to, right? So all it's doing is your branding, and they still may just give the management to the agency they purchase off, or they might go down the road, whatever. So by you collecting their data, you can at least give them a call. So having information on the back of those letters, or if you're doing the download, the QR code, Michael, you have 10 reasons why to use IJT Realty.
Yeah.
5 tips to understand buying an investment property. Catch their attention so you look like the market expert as well. We're going to, in one of the next tips, we'll talk about that QR code even more, because I've got some even better stuff. I mean, there's nothing to say you couldn't have an iPad up there with some visuals, which we'll talk about in a second.
Yeah, proof statements and visuals is quite important. But the sales agent, if you can't be there, the sales agent is only going to be as good as how they're being taught, what they know, their education. So one of the other points that we have is that as a real estate property manager, BDM, you should be sitting in on the sales meetings.
Yeah.
Not so much to kind of sit there and listen to what's happening in the sales market, the other way around. You need to be advising the sales team and the referrers what to say, how to stimulate that, how to stimulate the conversation, generate the inquiry, what's happening in the marketplace, what are homes renting for, show them examples. This is 1 Smith Street, it rented for X amount last week. Let the people walking through the doors know that there's interest and inquiry like this.
Yeah, well, sales agents are BDMs for you. So when you're attending a sales meeting, adding to what Michael's saying, don't go to the meeting and say, have you got any leads for me? That's not what to do. There's no bonus for them. Educate them how they've got to sell you. You may not be able to be at the sales open or whatever the case. When they're on the phone and they're talking to purchasers, you need to give them those proof statements. Like, wow, I was talking to, Michael, the BDM the other day, and he was telling me that properties in this street were leasing 5 days quicker than anyone else, which is X amount of dollars in our investors' pockets. So that's adding to the client experience for the purchaser, which is you're feeding sales agents so much great proof statements about your company. They're actually upselling you without even knowing it, which is also helping them sell a property.
And imagine this, right? You attended some of the call open for inspections. You got the list, or even if you haven't attended and they've given you the list, and you go to the meeting and you've got a list of all the clients that they met during the week, and you can go through and say, Mr. and Mrs. such and such had a look at this property. They didn't like it. What they were looking for is more around, a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom instead of a 3-bedroom, 1-bathroom. They've had a look at X amount of properties with another agent.
Yep.
So you're also then educating the sales guys, hey, this is what your buyer is looking at doing.
Yeah. By the way, they're looking at buying a house that's 800,000. They only told you they've got 600,000. So that's actually bridging the gap of sales and property management.
Yeah, and again, they're giving you permission to call up as a property investor support service, right? You're calling up the people that walk through every property, and even if they're not an investor, right? They may not be looking for an investment property, but they might be moving out of their property, which would become an investment.
Yeah.
Or they may know other people, so definitely you've got to call every single person that goes through and open.
So that brings us to the next point, number 5, is actually doing customer service calls, to anyone that's gone through the property, anyone that's gone through the property, because you can't rely on the sales agent to be doing, asking, are they an investor? Again, you can't go to all of the properties, but if you're doing customer service calls to anyone that's gone through, they could have old lists from 2 years ago, whatever the case, but simply pick up the phone and make a call. Hi, it's Deniz here from IGT Realty. I'm from the customer service department of our office. It's in my understanding in our records that you went through 52 ABC Street on the weekend with Michael. I would like to ask you a couple of questions about that, if it's okay. And simply ask them easy questions. A great one to ask them. Obviously, they went through the open, so you've got a yes, and you're going to be asking about their experience through it. So great, when you met Michael at the property, Michael would have given you the information and data of the property, the forms, the letters, some brochures. They're going to say yes. How was your experience with Michael? They're going to say it was great, it was bad, hopefully it was good. And then simply just ask them, is this an investment property you're looking to buy? And if they say yes, great. Well, I'm actually from the Investor Support Service. I'm a BDM. BDM is not necessarily the best wording to use because they don't know what a BDM is. So, using the Investor Support Service is great. I don't sell homes, but I specialize in giving advice in how investors can maximize their returns on properties. And it doesn't matter who you buy from, et cetera, et cetera. And that's a whole nother session that you can, that we can do another podcast on. Again, building rapport. You're not at the home open and you're making these customer service calls. You may get more information from them, Michael, because they're trusting you because you're not trying to sell them a house.
Correct.
You know, so that the sales agent, they know they're trying to get as much money out of them, but you're coming from the property management department. So that rapport is really easy to build.
I just think that, you know, when you've got all those leads that you make coming through the inspections, you've already got a ready-made database there to, this comes on to the next point, to arrange property evenings, you know, support evenings and information evenings where you get these people into a room.
So what you're saying is, Michael, bring the investors to you and have a whole room full of them, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and do that with the sales team. Of course, you've got other strategic alliances, you know, but, you know, make sure you always have to have a sales agent. And this is working together with sales in educating those purchasers to benefit both of you. You know, there's so many, you know, there's so many topics that you could talk about, benefits of buying and then investing with a 2-bedroom home, 2-bedroom unit, or whatever the demand is within your area at the time. So, Michael, what a great opportunity in having a sales and a property management division working together to better the local area. Or if you're property management only and there's a sales only company, that's that you're doing something together, and you're educating all of those attendees that are coming, which, you know, of course you're not going to get all investors coming, but wow, there's a whole format. We've already done a podcast on how to run an investor evening, so make sure you go back and have a listen to that. But it's really bridging the gap in so many levels of running an info night and getting all of these people into the room together and stamping your authority that you're a market expert in doing this. Last point, I love this. And we've had clients that have done this. I'm going to say Greg Pearson did this over in Perth. We've got Julie Collins that's done this as well. And I've shared the videos as well. Doing a video with your sales agent. You know, doing a video with your sales agent. A property manager doing a video at a potential home that is ideal for investment, even if it's not, right? It's okay to do a video with them and still give rental opinions and some tips around it and the type of tenant that you may get, how to get a higher rent. You know, if I'm doing a video with you, Michael, and you're the sales agent, you're going to tell me the key features about the property to sell it. And then I'm going to say, and they're great points on why they would you would attract a great family that want a executive style family that want to move into it. I then give you this video, Michael. Here's the video, Michael. What's Michael going to do? He's going to tag me on social media. He's going to post it. He's going to send it out to all of his purchasers. And he's going to be screaming that I'm his preferred property manager of choice.
Yeah. I mean, just by default, by sharing the video, people are going to assume that.
Yeah, which is great. Now, that video, let's go back to, you know, attending home open, step 2 or step 3 even. You know, you want to collect the data. That QR code could play the video. So they go, oh, wow, Deniz is at the property. Wow, there's a video with the sales agent as well. Collecting the data, showing them a video. The video could even be playing on an iPad that's there available for them. There's some really cool ways of bridging the gap of sales and property management. And that video, I love it because you know they are going to share it. Obviously, when you're giving them the video, it's on your profile, it's on your YouTube channel. Give them the link so they put it into their website, into the so it's marketed online, but it's coming from your YouTube channel, which is a key as well. Which, you know, we spoke about that in another podcast about having videos on your YouTube channel, but on other websites, which gives you great traction for SEO as well.
Yeah, and look, I guess we don't really want to bombard everyone with too much more because there's 7 or 8 points there that are really beneficial to people that have a sales team attached or don't have a sales team attached. It's really relevant and beneficial to everybody. So I would encourage everyone to go out there, meet with your sales team, meet with sales agents in the area and so on, like we've discussed. See what you can do over the next 4 weeks. See what relationships you can work on, build.
Yeah, it's about building that pipeline, gaining rapport with those sales agents, meet with them one-on-one. Don't just wait about sales meetings. Get to know them. Find out what coffee shop they're at. Keep building those pipelines. Keep bridging the gap between property management and sales and get more business through that way, through the avenue. Michael, I reckon we've covered some really cool bits.
Yeah, well, great. Thanks for having the chat with me today.
Yeah, thank you, everyone. And looking forward to seeing and hearing your results. If your new business is on fire, give us a call.